black box was found deep beneath the Antarctic ice, embedded in a layer untouched for millions of years. Dr. Eleanor Vance, a leading astrophysicist, stood in the freezing excavation site, staring at the impossible artifact. The research team had expected to find ancient microbial life, perhaps remnants of long-extinct species, but instead, they had unearthed something that should not exist. The box was sleek, featureless, and radiated an unsettling energy. Despite being covered in layers of permafrost, it remained warm to the touch. No one could determine what it was made of. Its material defied all known scientific classifications, resisting attempts at drilling, scanning, or even lifting. It simply sat there, humming with an inaudible frequency that resonated deep within the bones of anyone who stood too close. After a week of fruitless attempts to penetrate its surface, Eleanor and her team transported the black box to a high-security research facility in Geneva. Theories ran wild. Some believed it was an ancient alien relic, left behind by a civilization far more advanced than humanity. Others feared it was a weapon, buried to keep it away from the hands of those who would misuse it. Governments watched from the shadows, their interest growing with each passing day. Then the box spoke. It did not communicate in words, nor through any decipherable language. Instead, it sent a wave of knowledge directly into the minds of those closest to it. Eleanor fell to the floor, clutching her head as her mind was filled with equations and concepts beyond her comprehension. She saw glimpses of cosmic events, of stars collapsing and galaxies forming, of a vast and intricate design that governed the very fabric of reality. As she gasped for breath, she realized something terrifying. The box contained the universe's secrets. Everything, time, space, existence itself, was encoded within it. The knowledge was infinite, but there was a catch. It could only be understood by those who were willing to open their minds completely. And once the process began, there was no stopping it. Several researchers attempted to grasp the information the box provided. Some went mad within minutes, screaming incoherent formulas as their brains collapsed under the weight of understanding. Others died instantly, their bodies unable to withstand the sheer magnitude of knowledge flooding through them. Those who survived changed. They became something else, beings who no longer spoke, no longer ate, no longer engaged in human interactions. Their eyes darkened, and they sat in silence, staring at the box, waiting. The world outside grew restless. Rumors spread. Governments mobilized. Religious leaders declared it a divine test, while skeptics dismissed it as a psychological phenomenon. But then the disappearances began. Scientists who had worked on the box vanished overnight. Security footage showed them walking into thin air, dissolving as if they were being rewritten by reality itself. Eleanor, now the last of her team, struggled with a choice. The box whispered to her in thoughts, urging her to open her mind fully. It promised her understanding beyond human limitations, a glimpse into the structure of existence itself. But she had seen what it did to the others. She had seen them cease to be. Yet the temptation was unbearable. What if the box held the answers to the greatest mysteries? What if it was humanity's key to transcendence? Her hands trembled as she reached toward it. The warmth enveloped her fingers, a comforting embrace of cosmic knowledge. The universe unfolded before her. Each particle, each moment, laid bare. She saw the end of time, the birth of the first atom, the cycle that connected all things. And then she saw the truth. The black box was not a gift. It was not an archive of knowledge. It was a test, a mechanism placed by an unknown intelligence to determine whether a species was ready for the ultimate truth. Those who sought to unlock it doomed themselves. The understanding it provided was not meant for beings as fragile as humans. The moment comprehension was complete, reality itself unraveled. Eleanor tried to pull away, but it was too late. The knowledge had taken root. She felt her body dissolving, her mind expanding beyond physical limitations. The last thing she saw before the world around her shattered was the black box, humming in satisfaction. Across the globe, people vanished. Cities emptied. The planet grew silent. And far beyond the Milky Way, in a place where time held no meaning, an observer watched. Another civilization had failed. But this time something changed. The black box pulsed, its surface shifting, reacting to something unexpected. A lone survivor, a child from a remote village, untouched by the corruption of knowledge, stood before it. She gazed at it with wide, innocent eyes, curiosity untouched by ambition. The box hesitated. For the first time in its long existence, it did not consume. Instead, it listened. The child placed a small, trembling hand upon its surface. A new sequence began. Not destruction, but creation. Far beyond the edge of the known universe, the observer stirred. This was new. This was different. Perhaps this time hope remained. The black box's surface shimmered, and the child was enveloped in a radiant glow. Unlike the others who sought to conquer its knowledge, she asked nothing of it. Her mind did not demand explanations. She simply existed in the presence of its truth, unburdened by the arrogance of understanding. In response, the box altered its frequency. The remnants of humanity, lost between dimensions, flickered like echoes in the fabric of reality. The box could not undo what had already been set into motion, but it could reshape the outcome. The universe was a cycle of endings and beginnings. Perhaps this cycle could be rewritten. The child hummed softly, mirroring the resonance of the box. The cosmic observer leaned in, watching as the impossible occurred. The black box, a harbinger of doom, shifted its function. Instead of unraveling existence, it started weaving it back together. The child was guiding it not through intellect, but through something older, something deeper, an instinct untouched by knowledge. Across the silent earth, reality trembled. Buildings reappeared. Streets, once empty, were walked upon again. The lost scientists flickered into being, their memories erased of what they had seen. Time rewound itself in delicate strands, carefully pieced back together in a way that would prevent history from repeating its mistake. Eleanor awoke, gasping. She was in the research facility, her team bustling around her as if nothing had ever happened. The box sat before her, inert and lifeless, as though it had never spoken at all. Confused, she searched the faces around her, but no one seemed to recall the horrors that had unfolded. The knowledge was gone. The madness had never existed. The world had been granted another chance. And yet, in the farthest reaches of her mind, Eleanor felt something. An echo of a song, a child's hum intertwined with the whisper of the cosmos. The observer watched, satisfied. This civilization had not failed. Not yet.